This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. How's everybody feeling this hump day?
Feeling good.
Yeah? Mid-sip, feeling good?
I wouldn't even say that was a sip. Jeff took a gulp.
That was
like you're about to get into a big rig or something.
Hey, I'm ready to start the day.
Yeah, I
Big
love
rig. 12 more hours to go.
Big gulps, huh? All right.
See you later.
All right, let's get to this. I'm Sam in for Tori. There is some serious outrage over the Oscar nominations that came out yesterday. Lots of people very angry about the snubs for Barbie. Leading lady Margot Robbie was shut out for Best Actress, and so was director Greta Gerwig. The film's leading man, Ryan Gosling, was nominated, but he is speaking out about the snubs. So in a statement, Ryan said, quote, "There is no Ken without Barbie, and there is no Barbie movie without Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie. To say that I'm disappointed that they are not nominated in their respective categories would be an understatement." Now, America Ferrera, who has been nominated for her role in the film, reacted saying she too was sad and disappointed. She went on to say they, quote, "deserve to be acknowledged for the history they made, for the ground they broke, for the beautiful artistry." Now, online, lots of people were posting their own reactions to the snubs. Take a look.
In the moment where I'm painting Barbie, literally painting Barbie, is when I have to find out that Greta and Margot are snubbed for Oscar noms. Should I smash my face through this, or should I paint 700 more of them and just start distributing them to the rest of the world?
No shade to Ryan Gosling or anything, but how does Ken get an Oscar nomination for Barbie, but Barbie doesn't get an Oscar nomination for Barbie?
I'm just here to say that Margot Robbie being snubbed by the Oscars is just so typical. They're stereotyping Margot Robbie for being stereotypical Barbie. Yes, I have wine on my shirt.
Some are also calling Ryan out. Hold up, Al. Okay, all right. Saying this is, quote unquote, virtue signaling, what Ryan is doing. That's what they're saying. And that if he was really outraged, he would decline his nomination. So you clearly have a lot to say. You just watched Barbie. What do you think of the uproar?
I don't think it's fair to ask me that question. I'm still trying to digest. She's being stereotyped as a stereotypical Barbie. I don't understand. That's why they cast her, because she looks so much like Barbie. I look at this and it's like, I wonder, like, what if Ryan Gosling said nothing? He would have been attacked for saying nothing and not getting the back of his castmates. And the saddest thing with all this, Erica, and I am interested to hear what you guys are going to say. I'm not going to talk too long, but I would have loved to hear Ryan and America be able to talk about their nomination and how hard they worked for it. But again, even like a proud moment, it's taken away because we got to do some internet arguing. Your movie that you liked can't win everything. It can't. There are other people that all got together on sound stages and they worked hard too. And you're not going to win everything. It's a very difficult thing to understand. But people in this business, how many things have you auditioned for that you didn't get? It's a lot more than the ones you do get. Yeah. It is what it is. Once you get to a certain level, you're competing against the best actors on the planet. And to be nominated, I think, is an honor.
Yeah, you know, I said yesterday that the jokes will write themselves when it comes to just who, I guess Kimmel is going to host the Oscars. Yes. And the idea of the patriarchy and Margot and Greta being, quote unquote, snubbed. I really thought that a lot of people talked about Ryan Gosling's face at the Critics' Choice Award. I think we have a clip of that, and speculated, you know, what that was all about. Honestly, I think in that moment, he also realized that he was in for it. That was the moment where he's like, oh man, this is gonna be a rough award season. Because that was just the beginning of what ultimately is going to culminate in so much more attention surrounding him for something that he essentially is self-proclaiming himself to be a background player. That's why he was supporting actor. I don't think it's the best look. I don't think Ryan would have chosen this, to be quite honest.
Should he give up his nomination, Erica?
What is that supposed to do? I mean, honestly, the better question is, okay, if you want someone to give up the nomination, who on Best Director or Best Actress are you going to ask to step aside? Right. Because to Al's point, I mean, I get it. Like, this is really majorly ironic in the most tragic of ways, but it's not like it's anybody's fault.
Right. Jeff, you're an actor, Jeff. Pastor
You are.
Paul,
That
are.
really annoys me. You've been in movies, bro. Yeah. Will you accept that? It's really cool.
My Oscar? Yeah,
What do you
maybe.
think? Is this outrageous to you, or do you think what's happening, people have a reason to be outraged?
What is outrageous is that networks, executives, the Oscars, academies are letting crazy people run their business. You don't go to Costco and say, where's the outrage? We want more beef. You don't do that. Nobody does that because that's insane. That's the same way of you having nothing to do with this business and interjecting. And you know what the funny part is? People are listening. Executives are listening. The Oscars So White was a couple years ago. Now you want to put 2 more white people back in the bidding? I thought it was too white. Now you want them back in? Tell me what crazy page we're playing on.
Speaking of people listening and contributing to the outrage, Hillary Clinton tweeted about this. So she wrote, Greta and Margot, while it can sting to win the box office but not take home the gold, your millions of fans love you. And let's just remember, Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig have been recognized for their fantastic work. Margot Robbie did wonderful. So did Greta Gerwig. Not everyone's going to win the Oscar.
I think we're missing the thing with Hillary, though. What she's saying is, while it could sting to win the popular vote.
Yes, of course.
Getting the actual trophy, you know, like, it may elude you. Mm-hmm. So I think when people are like, why is she weighing in? I really think it's far deeper.
Right. It's back to 2016.
I would also say this as it pertains to Barbie or any kind of universe that's already set up. I think it is harder to win, you know, Best Picture, Best Director when it's Spider-Man or Superman.
Yes.
Those stories have already been told. It's from the 1930s. Those have been around for our childhood. I think it's a lot more difficult to do that than to actually take a story in which we're unfamiliar with, familiarize the audience with these characters and make us fall in love with them over the course of 2 hours and care about them. It's a lot easier when we already know who Barbie is. We already know who Ken is. We already know who Superman is. And so it's going to be a lot harder when you take a franchise that's already been established 100 years before you got here.
Good point, Albert. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Crystal Hefner. She's sharing shocking details about the Playboy Mansion as Hugh Hefner's wife. And Trump and Biden both win the New Hampshire primary. Is the writing on the wall for a 2024 rematch? Box office, yeah.
I think it's very important for Hillary to go down as an icon, and she will. But just an icon in general. I think she was so sure she was going to win the presidency and didn't. I think she was shocked by her level of unpopularity with the fans or with the voters. And I think that she still tries to chime in on cultural issues, cultural touchstones, because she wants to be seen as, you know, this pioneer. In a lot of ways, in a dozen ways, she was, and she is. But I think her not winning, I don't know if she ever got over that or ever will. I don't know. It's and also we didn't mention 9,500 people vote on the Oscars. So it's not like
Ryan Gosling being one of them.
Right.
So if you're like a nominated screenwriter, director, actor, Ryan Gosling was for Best Supporting Actor and Best Actor, you are invited. You don't have to accept it, but you're invited to be part of the Academy. And Ryan is part of the Academy since 2007. So he voted I don't know if you can vote for yourself.
Yeah, and even if you could, I mean, it would get diluted
Right.
over 9,500. But it's
Right.
like a lot of people that chose this profession and do it at the highest level felt like those are the people that won this year.
Right.
It was a great year for movies, and there was a lot of great performances. And sometimes we always bring up Shape of Water, but if that was made this year, we wouldn't be talking about it. It was in a particularly weak class, and it won that year.
It wasn't in a weak class. It's a beautiful
Would
movie.
Shape of Water beat out Pulp Fiction?
No.
Okay. Shawshank?
No. Welcome back to DBL. As I'm sure many of you saw, former President Trump easily won the GOP nomination last night in New Hampshire. This marks a second big win for Trump after he took Iowa last week. Nikki Haley did come in second. I mean, there's just two of them, about 11 points behind. She has vowed to fight on, although her chances are not looking good. Even though that he was not on the ballot, President Biden won the nomination for Democrats thanks to people writing in his name. So with less than 10 months before the general election, it is looking, whether you like it or not, more and more like a Biden-Trump rematch than ever before. So what do you all think of this? Is this rematch inevitable? What do you think, Jeff?
I think so, and I've been saying I don't want this.
How do you feel about it?
For... Jeez. Sorry, let me get a drag of my cigarette first. That was aggressive.
Go ahead.
Say it. I didn't do it. What do I think about it? I've been saying for years and years and years. Luckily, we've been doing this show that long. This is what I did not want to see. This is my worst fear.
I think
having
you speak
come
for
true.
a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen. Biden, fine. Trump, too much. Just I'm over the circus, right? I don't want it. I don't need it. I want to get back to making America okay again. I don't even want to say that statement. I want to get back to. I want to get back to wearing
fine.
All right, I'm pleading the fifth. I'm done here.
I think a lot of people feel the same way you do, Jeff. And it's looking at our candidates again, it's like going to a dinner at a wedding. It's just like steak or chicken. Those are the only two options.
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, no matter what you complain about, steak or chicken. And we are sitting here like Jeff, and everybody's like, I'm not in love with either of these candidates. Can we see another one? Is there a third candidate like Bernie? People love Bernie, and they voted for him. And he still didn't get nominated because he was superseded by a superdelegate vote, which no citizen knows about.
Right.
But it kills your enthusiasm for democracy if you're like, hey, this third guy, Bernie Sanders, oh, he still didn't make it. There's a rule you don't know about, Erica. We wrote it down in the back.
Right.
So it's like, well, then what are you doing? What are we doing here? Why do I have to show up?
Y'all, this is super embarrassing.
I know.
We're telling to the world that these are our best and brightest.
Again.
Let me ask you this: pay-per-view,
Yeah.
Trump-Biden debate. You would not. I mean,
Oh, I would
it's,
tune in
everyone's
in a
tuning
heartbeat.
in.
Do you think they will
Everyone's tuning in.
debate?
We all don't want this, but we all are tuning in to
Will
see
they
that debate.
debate?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I don't think they will.
Listen, again, if you like Biden, you're not going to like what I have to say. Marching him out there and putting him against Trump is like putting a boxer in an MMA arena. Like, if you don't get that, an MMA guy will destroy a boxer because he knows more moves. Trump just has more of that Biden doesn't have. And I'm not saying one's better than the other.
Jeff,
I'm
you don't
saying
have
in
to
a
always
debate.
qualify.
You do
You're
because
saying-
people go
who
crazy.
cares?
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's just us up here talking. I'm not. We don't
These
have to,
cameras go
we don't have
nowhere.
to always there bring the haters in.
Yeah, you're
they're gonna
right,
do
you're
what
right.
they're gonna do what they do. But I will say this about Trump. One reason I don't think he'll show up to the debate is he's got open cases. Like he runs a cartel. He's got like 4 or 5 open cases,
Right.
and he
You don't wanna
cannot
say too
perjure
much.
himself
Yes.
by saying anything because
Oh, good point.
because you wouldn't let your client go on. You know, anything you say can and will.
He don't listen to his lawyer.
I know. Well, he listens to anything you say can and will. And trust me, he's listening to that. And anybody that would let him debate, because it's the first thing Biden's going to do. What's up? Did you do it? What does he say?
But what about your son? Did he do it? That's Trump.
Right. Yeah. No,
he's got
Trump
something.
would be good.
He's got something.
He would have good comeback.
My thing is Nikki Haley, real quickly.
Yes, of course.
Stick around.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's going to happen with Trump, and by default, you're automatically that nominee.
And she was only 11 points behind.
I'm just saying, yeah.
I do want, a lot of people are wondering if there were to be a presidential election right now, who would win? According to the national presidential poll results via the Bullfinch Group, which happened on the 22nd of January, Biden 42%, Trump 47%. So that's where we are right now.
Did somebody boo that?
Wow. Yeah. Hey, listen, that's a natural reaction. Yeah. That's how people feel. You just say Trump, boo. Biden, boo. People are just crazy.
Well, I mean, I think it might come down to just
Not
voter suppression, and you just heard voter apathy in real time.
Yeah.
But voters are tired of this. I don't know who that was.
But I will say
Let's shame them more.
Yeah. I will say this.
Yes, final thought.
I think your point, Al, was probably something not a lot of people think about unless you watch Real Housewives.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when there's a legal case happening, they can't talk about it on the reunion.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
It really is.
Coming up on DBL, Crystal Hefner is telling us all about her new memoir that details what life was like inside the Playboy Mansion.
In the lead up to the New Hampshire primary election, NBC News and other outlets reported that some people in the state received a robocall from a voice that sounded a lot like President Joe Biden.
It's important that you save your vote for the November election.
On the call, it sounds like the president is urging voters not to vote in Tuesday's primary.
Voting this Tuesday only enables the Republicans in their quest to elect Donald Trump again.
But White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says President Biden didn't make those calls.
That call was indeed fake and not recorded by the president.
This faked robocall is one of the most notable examples of artificial intelligence being used to influence voters, and it's not likely to be the last. So, using these sources, here are a few things to listen to help you determine if an election-related call you receive is real or not. Tip 1. Listen for breaths. A real person takes breaths when they talk and makes noise. No audible breaths means you're probably dealing with AI. Tip 2. Is the person's speech cadence off? Are they talking monotone or emphasizing odd words? If it sounds unnatural, that's another red flag. Tip 3. Check more sources. If President Biden were informing his base not to vote, chances are he's going to send that message out on multiple platforms. As for the authenticity of this robocall,
what a bunch of malarkey.
If you receive election-related correspondence that you're unsure about or suspect may have been created using AI, contact Verify. Email us at questions@verifythis.com or send us a text to 202-410-8808. With your Verify, I'm Ariante Till.
Welcome back. Was the world of Playboy a fantasy or a bad dream for the women in it? Earlier, we spoke with Hugh Hefner's wife, Crystal, who's making headlines by sharing her story in a new memoir.
Crystal, thank you so much for joining us. We were just chatting about the cover. I mean, the cover is so impactful of the book. You have tape over your mouth that says, "Only say good things." Wow.
All right, Crystal, let's jump right. I have so many questions for you. First one, I want to know, why do you think he made you promise to only say good things about him before he died? And I think I know the answer to that. And did Hugh know, because now there's all these shows on A&E, your book, it was kind of the downfall of Hugh Hefner. Did he know that before he died?
He didn't really know before he died. Me Too happened after he died, but before then, I think the Cosby stuff was starting to happen, and he put me on the board of his foundation, and he controlled the narrative of his life for so long. So I think he was afraid of any other opinions or narratives out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, you say you never loved Hugh, but you married him when you were 26 and he was 86. So out of all the playmates, how did he go about picking you to be his wife?
I'm not sure. I still think about it, and I'm like, what is it? Did I bring him calmness? Like, what was it about me? Maybe because I completely gave myself up to just be whatever he wanted me to be. It could be that.
So what made you initially call off the wedding?
It was hard, and I was feeling like the walls were closing in on me. I felt a little bit trapped. He wanted to film this special that was going to be on Lifetime, where he was making tons of money and gave me a small little talent fee. And I was like, this doesn't feel fair here. I just felt used.
Well, you know, you speak about being used, but also you talk about feeling controlled. He controlled everything from your look to your daily routine. Can you walk us through, in our audience, through just some of the things he would make you do on a daily basis?
And why? Why did he need to do that, in your opinion?
I think I just needed to fill his fantasy he has in his mind. You know, beauty is subjective. It's just whatever he wanted. You know, my nails couldn't be anything but a pale pink. I had to, at all times, make sure I had my hair bleached. If the dark started coming in, he would like tap it for me to go get it dyed. He would tell me wear something more colorful. He would tell me wear the flag, which is the Playboy bunny logo. And yeah, everything was controlled. Everything.
And other Playmates have come forward, and they've had shocking claims of their own against Hugh and Playboy, including some alleged criminal acts like sexual assault. How do you feel about their claims, and how do you feel your story is going to help other people tell theirs?
I definitely don't think Hef was a predator, but he was definitely a narcissist, a misogynist, and you know, I completely lost myself to that place and to Hef. And when you don't know who you are, it could be dictated to you by someone else, and that could also be taken away from you. So for me, it's a story of like coming into your power and self-worth and self-love, and you can avoid these things happening to you.
When you wrote your book, I can only imagine how cathartic it was for you, and you probably felt free, maybe for the very first time. But did you ever have in the back of your mind Hugh's voice? What do you think he would say about your book?
I did have that in the back of my mind, but I just hoped that he would be open to it. You know, he was an advocate for First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, so I hope that he would be okay with me using my voice finally.
Well, we appreciate you, Crystal. Thank you for joining us today. DBL Nation, you can pick up your copy of Crystal's book, Only Say Good Things, Surviving Playboy and Finding Myself, at any major bookstore today. Thank you again, Crystal. We appreciate you. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
All of these cicadas are completely synchronized with one another. So every single 13-year-old cicada emerges from the ground simultaneously, flies around, has a massive party, sheds their exoskeletons, makes a massive mess, and then dies.
Several posts on social media say 2 different types of cicadas will emerge across several states, and they also claim this hasn't happened in 2 centuries. So is this true, and will we see it in North Carolina? Let's verify. Our source is Dawn Flynn, adjunct curator of entomology at the Scheele Museum in Gastonia and the University of Connecticut. Flynn tells us each year in North Carolina, we see a particular type of insect in the summer called the dog day cicada. But this year, we will be greeted by another type of cicada as well, this one called Brood 19.
The periodicals only come out every 13 years.
For 13 years, Brood 19 cicadas have lived underground. Flynn says several states in the southeast, including North Carolina, will see them emerge this summer.
The immatures are underground, feeding on the roots of trees during that period of time. And then at the end of their time underground, they come out and they attach to something solid, like the side of a building or a fence post.
There is a third type of cicada that is also expected to emerge this year. Flynn says it is true Brood 13, which has a 17-year life cycle, will come out as well. When combined with the Brood 19s, that will mean billions and billions of cicadas, but only in some parts of the country.
The 2 broods are going to be meeting together for the first time in 221 years. In the same place, and that's in northern Illinois. Both broods won't meet here.
Thankfully, we won't see Brood 13 in the Carolinas, but we are expected to see more activity because we should get the Brood 19 insects alongside with our annual Dog Day cicadas, and that high-pitched sound they all make, that's just their mating call.
There's nothing you can really do because there's so many of them. They're going to be in the trees, and the males are the ones that make all the noise that sing for the females.
So we can verify that yes, two types of long dormant cicadas, brood 19 and brood 13, will emerge in some states, but only brood 19 will emerge here. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg. Welcome back. If you're looking to control joint pain, exercise can help, and experts say when you hit the gym matters. They say exercise in the morning can improve sleep cycle, and burn more fat during the day, but exercise during the day and evening can improve your hormone levels and relieve stress. So I want to ask you all, what do you do to work out, like morning, afternoon, night?
Mornings. Gotta be the mornings.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta
Erica,
go
you've been mornings
early.
forever.
Yeah, because if I don't do it in the morning, it's not gonna happen.
Got
so
it.
It's like early. Yes.
Okay.
Jeff, what about you're a morning guy too, right?
I used to be. Now I've been starting because I have other things with the kids running around and all that. I kind of do the evenings, you know, and I'm on this thing, no drinking January, workout every day. And I started Vanderpump Rules from the beginning. So I just go down to my little workout room, watch Vandy's.
You look forward to it.
I do. Get it done and get my little fix.
Yep, and the evenings work for me too because it gives me a break.
Yeah.
Like it gives me a break from the kids. Like I start, you know, to get a little like, okay, and then I'm like, I gotta go to yoga. And I'm like, oh, it feels so good.
You deserve it. Mornings, definitely.
Always, huh?
Always.
All right, cool. Something that can help you with joint pain any time of day is Omega XL. It's a powerful joint support that's helped millions of consumers and is backed by 30 years of clinical research. Omega XL's powerful and proven benefits have transformed the lives of athletes, celebrities, and dedicated daily users. Call 800-814-6985 or visit omegaxl.com for more information. All right, so let's share some of them comments, shall we? This is all in regard to Barbie and the snub, okay? Gigi says, just give an Oscar to everyone. No show necessary.
There we go.
That's where we're at.
It really feels that way.
We're just giving out honorary Oscars now. It's like,
I know. Maxwell Banks says, this crying is why our young people today get participation awards. Dumb.
I mean, that.
I
don't see the link there, but.
No, I don't want to say that it's dumb for there to be support in this direction.
I commend Ryan Gosling.
1,000,000%. I do think that there has to be balance in the equation.
But it's such tunnel vision.
See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.